I'm professional sports handicapper Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com. It's Tuesday, May 26th, and it's time for another edition of my NFL regular season win totals odds. Today, we're going to be covering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's our 14th team we'll be covering in a 32-part series. Let's get right to it. The Buccaneers, right now, the regular season win totals odds is at 9, and to go over that total would be at moneyline odds of -125. To go under 9 regular season wins on Tampa Bay, it would be at moneyline odds of +105. This is a team that went 7-9 a season ago, finished tied for second with the Atlanta Falcons, well behind first place New Orleans, who was 13-3. Offensively, this was a dynamic offensive team a season ago. Number 3 in total yards at almost 400 per game. Number 1 in passing offense at over 300 yards per game, and number 4 in scoring at 28 points per contest. You say with offense like that, how could you finish 7-9? Well, there's an easy explanation. On top of the fact, their defense wasn't horrible. Their defense actually was, I believe, 15th in total defense. So when you put up that kind of offensive numbers and you're middle of the pack in the defense, you should be a playoff team. You really should. In any event, the reason why, let's get back to that. Jameis Winston did pass for over 5,100 yards last year. Did pass for 33 touchdowns. However, he threw 30 interceptions. 7 of those interceptions were returned for touchdowns. The Bucs also turned the ball over 41 times last year. Luckily for them, it could have been a lot worse if not for the fact that the defense turned the opposition over 28 times, and that left them at -13 in turnover differential. Not good at all, folks, but by the same token, could have been a lot worse considering the amount of times they turned the ball over. Having said all that, gone is Jameis Winston. He's now listed as number 3 on the depth chart with the New Orleans Saints. And in is future Hall of Famer Tom Brady, 43-year-old quarterback. Still has a little bit left in the tank, and he's certainly got some weapons to work with, starting with his former tight end, Rob Gronkowski, who ended a 1-year retirement and signed a free agent contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston gone, Tom Brady in. That's a good thing for Tampa Bay. Also, you look at their wide receiver tandem of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more dynamic duo right now in the NFL. I mean, there's some arguments to be made, I'm sure. But having said that, you're looking at Godwin last year, 86 catches for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. And Evans, in only 13 games, caught 67 balls for 1,157 yards and 8 touchdowns. Their tight end trio with Gronk, O.J. Howard, and Cameron Brate, you'd be hard-pressed again to find a trio of wide receivers or tight ends, I should say, the tight end depth that any team has in the NFL. Again, making it clear, I jumble those words and I mumble those words. The bottom line is there's nobody who has a better trio of tight ends across the board right now than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best, to ever play the game. Look for them to run a lot of 12 personnel, which means that they'll have just 2 wide receivers and 1 running back, line up with 2 tight ends, and that should improve their running game too. I mean, the running game left a lot to be desired a season ago, but with these improved offensive products on the field, I think that you're going to see the passing game open up the running game a little bit and look for some improvement on the Tampa Bay offensive line as well. Defensively, like I alluded to, they were just 15th overall, but that's still middle of the pack. And when you have offensive numbers like they had, that should have been good enough. However, it wasn't. And you're looking at a secondary that I'm very questionable about, although I like their number 2 draft choice in safety, Antoine Winfield Jr. Todd Bowles is an excellent defensive coordinator. And I really like the Tampa Bay front seven. Their defensive line and their linebackers are solid. The depth might leave a lot to be desired, but as far as their front seven starting players, I think Tampa Bay matches up very well with most teams in the NFL. Again, they have to cut down the turnovers. They have to play a little bit, maybe a little bit better defense, and they have to protect the quarterback and get the running game going a little better this year. And I think they will do so. Their schedule is far from overwhelming. The Buccaneers will be facing the 15th toughest schedule in the NFL. This is a team that went, I should say, 5-3 on the road last season. And this year, they open up. Their season opener is at New Orleans. After that, their next 7 away games are all against teams that did not qualify for the playoffs a season ago. That's a good sign. They also have a tough home slate. I mean, you look at home games against Minnesota, Kansas City, New Orleans, and Green Bay. If you could split in those 4 games and go 6-2 at home, and you could hold serve, what you did last year on the road at 5-3. I like Tampa Bay here to go over the regular season win total of 9 at money line odds of -125. Again, it's Tampa Bay over 9 regular season wins at money line odds of -125. Next up will be the Carolina Panthers. Until then, good luck with all your picks and stay safe. Be responsible, and God bless each and every one of you.